Welcome to iLLANOiZE Radio. You're now tuned in to the dopest thing to hit the streets since crack cocaine. Ow. I'm the host, Illinois Jones, along with my sister, Pretty Riot, and my partner, B Gold. Look at that smile. Oh, look at her. Her birthday next week. She would turn.
First of all, real quick, if you did not see the episode with Ricky Rax from last year, go watch it. That was my birthday. So.
Bro, damn. It's about to be your anniversary.
That's probably the funniest interview ever, but
look,
we're not going to talk about that right now.
Look, we got somebody in the building who's been doing his thing for so long in the city. He's lit. He stood up through the wave of drill music and is still making dope music, man. He didn't fall. He's still here. He's still standing. He also took over the Illinois Cypher at our first anniversary. He didn't want to give up the mic.
And that's what's something else you should go watch.
And if you ever been to an event where he hosts, you know he don't want to give up the mic. I've witnessed this man at Refuge host plenty joints, do so many like jam sessions with bands and freestyles. He's been doing it and holding it down in the city for a long time, y'all. We got D2G in the building.
I've been waiting to do that ad lib at iLLANOiZE Radio. I'm not even
do it
gonna
again.
lie
Give you a moment.
I've arrived.
Oh, you here?
I'm here.
How you doing, brother?
Man, I am blessed. I'm relaxed. I'm feeling good. Fresh off of vacay, back to business.
I know you got your bucket hat on. You got
all your
you definitely still giving vacay vibes.
Oh yeah.
You got I got all motherfucking chains on. Look at you and Pretty Riot. Y'all hit a lick or something on some gold chains. I need mine.
Man,
Forever
look,
21.
vacay. This Slauson right here.
Slauson?
Slauson.
Oh, you was on a good vacation though.
Bro, I was in LA for my birthday, July. Just came back from Jamaica like a couple days ago on some work vacation, you know what I'm saying? Just relaxing, handle my biz, and then just enjoy the rest of the time. Like, I'm coming down off of swimming pool bars, my man. Like, I'm talking rum punch, Bob Marley's, all while I'm in the pool. In the pool.
In the pool?
They don't trust moms to get drunk in the pool. That's crazy. It's beautiful, dog.
I don't even want to ask you what I want to ask you because
we'll talk about that off there.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things that could go down with pool and liquor in a bar.
And it's everything you imagine. It's all that goes.
Look, let's talk, man, because this is your first time up here.
This is my first time here.
Yeah,
like I was at the 1 year joint. I came to check out my people. You know, me and you, we go back.
We go back.
So of course I was gonna fall to show love. Then y'all had the Cypher. I'm just like, okay, am I supposed to not get up here and do something? Am I just watching? Jones, what I'm on, bro. You gotta let me know something. Once he gave me the cue, it's like, okay, I'm going up.
Man, I appreciate you, man. But look, for those that don't know D2G, man, let's fill them in.
Man.
So let's fill them in, man. Like D2G, where did that name come from?
Well, the D in D2G stems from my middle name, which is D'Angelo. Now, I ain't want to say all that because of the whole D'Angelo jokes and R&B, and you know how that be.
Right. How does it feel, nigga?
Exactly. I ain't the shirt off cat.
Yeah.
Not yet. Give me a couple, you know what I'm saying, months. But anywho, the 2G, I came up with this name at the time, like, this was still like 2000, 2001, so that's like 7th, 8th grade. This was at the time where everybody was doing the whole Y2K era, and FUBU was promoting it with Y2G, so I was just like, let me take the 2G from the $2,000, and there you have it, D'Angelo 2000. And over time, that changed into D'Angelo 2 grade. There's so many things, but 2G for short, D2G, that's me.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, D2G, you said you capped that name like in the early 2000s.
I'm sorry, did you say 2001?
I did.
Okay. So is that when you said you were young, though?
Yeah, I was.
Like in 7th grade?
7th grade, 8th grade, class 2001, Elwood Coles. What
Still
up?
old to me, but I ain't going to say that.
It's cool. You know what? I'm at the point now, if the old, stuff comes, I'm accepting it.
You accept your old head status. Okay, I love that.
That's the name of the game, though. Get old. Real rap. Like, that's the life goal and everything. Get old. So you can be able to still sit back and enjoy everything that's coming while you still doing you. That's blessings.
Do you remember one of any of the first raps you wrote or anything like that?
I remember this one. I maybe remember 6 bars of it right now.
Give it to us.
What
It's
was it?
okay if it sucks because you was in 7th grade. We ain't gonna judge you. You got so much better. That's why you're here now.
What did I say? I gotta remember the starting line. I said something like, I bang harder than a hammer trying to knock on wood. Even when Mace was around, you didn't feel so good. Still hurting from my freestyle blast. It bleeds awfully. Before Lauryn Hill, I've been killing them softly.
You said that in 7th grade.
7th grade.
Oh, okay, you was cutting off.
You was different.
Okay.
That was 7th grade. That was my first pinned down
Damn, I know
joint.
some
That
27-year-old that don't sound that good.
we'll talk about that in due time. We ain't gonna.
It's 7th grade. So you've been rapping since the 7th grade.
I've been officially writing my own. Yeah, it's the 7th grade. Otherwise, my first words was Wild Wild West. Let my mama tell you. You know what I mean? She put the headphones by her belly. I listened to a lot of rap back then. She said I wasn't much of a talker, but if a song came on, I was rapping it like it was crazy. So this has literally been in my blood for a long time.
Man.
Yeah.
So, okay, 7th grade, you come up with the name D2G.
Yep.
You start rapping, writing your own lyrics.
Yep.
When was the first time you stepped foot in a booth?
The first time I stepped foot in a booth, because I actually started recording around 7th grade, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Again, 2000, 2001. But this was when we had to make our makeshift studios back then. My mans had to cut out cardboard for the soundproof, a lamp in there.
In the closet and all that.
Right, tape recorder, one tape with the mic included on it, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, we started advancing. Pro Tools came out. Then when we got in our actual studios, probably 2003, 2004.
For sure.
And since then, it's been that.
What's been some of your influences?
Man, what is the influence? I came up literally listening. My uncle and my pops, God rest his soul, they really put me up onto a lot of the hip hop I used to listen to. So it wasn't a thing where it wasn't strange where you would see a shoebox and you'll see a EPMD cassette, or you'll see a Big Daddy Kane or Rakim or Public Enemy or Cool G Rap or something. You know what I mean? Just to kind of broaden it. But in that mix, I used to see things like Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots. You know what I mean? It was an array of mix of music that I used to listen to back then. So I was brought up from a lot.
Wow. That's a lot of different type of music.
Yeah,
Man, we can't.
You could have been a rock and roll star or something, playing a guitar right now.
I could. I mean, well, I have to learn it. But I'm probably tickle some strings and find out what.
Look, you know the
chords
words. You know, tickle the strings. I mean, I wouldn't use that with a guitar. I mean, I wouldn't have said tickle the strings.
Yeah, I meant to say strumming, but tickle just came out. And it probably sounds cool on radio to say. So,
hey, look, man, we got D2G in the building.
Yes, Lord.
Do not go nowhere.
Look,
man, I got my sister Pretty Ride on the left of me. And and I'm just
Oh,
getting
yeah.
birthday vibes. I just want to just kick
the
it right now.
glow is mad real right now.
You feel
Like
me?
if you got the camera right here, I need you to zoom in on this golden glow right here. She up
Shout
there
out
looking
to
like
that trophy wife.
over there
Shout
looking
out
like a
Rihanna.
pretty Grammy and whatnot. I'm digging.
Ooh,
I'm digging.
a pretty
Ooh.
Grammy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
Yo,
good gold
on
shine,
that
you
note,
know?
we going to break.
The iLLANOiZE app is available now on Apple and Google Play Store. Download the app, get the latest news, stream our podcasts, watch interviews, and listen to iLLANOiZE Radio live. Download the app right now.
iLLANOiZE Radio, you're now tuned in to the dopest thing that hit the street since crack cocaine. Got my sister in the building with me on my left side. And we got D2G in the building.
Yes, sir. East side, we in here. What up?
I forget you from the
He
east
sounds
side.
so
Oh yeah,
good on
I
radio
am.
already.
His personality, bro,
It's like the voice, the personality, it just fits together. It just sounds so good.
Uh-huh.
I appreciate that. That does some good for the heart. I like that.
D2G is a microphone phenomenon. He's the first guy damn, he hosting and he rapping.
Man,
At all one event. This is one event. He's hosting,
Sometimes
he's
you
rapping.
gotta do what you gotta do.
No, we ain't got no host today. Oh, y'all ain't got no host? I'll be the host. I remember people used to say you give him the mic, you're not getting it back.
oh no, that's home. Stage is gonna always be home.
You know what I mean? And Your band has always been dope, dude.
Oh man, look, I'm just been blessed to work with and be fam with an elite of dope musicians. Like Chicago has the best musicians in the world, the best, bar none, hands down. You put us up against anybody from anywhere, we smoking, flat out. Like performance wise, the groove wise, music in itself, like we killing. There's no way around that.
Everybody got a band, got somebody in Chicago in a band.
Yes, we all know each other, man. This is a big community of everybody just trying to get in where they fit in. So you might see somebody that you work with on one band, and then you see him with another band. It's like, oh snap, and then you automatically got a good vibe with them because y'all work with each other. It could be rehearsed, non-rehearsed, all that. The vibes is there.
Let's talk about these projects you got, man.
Wait, before we do
my
that,
fault.
can I ask a question
Go
about
ahead.
the bands just very
Go
quickly?
ahead, do your thing.
Go ahead.
Because I was just sitting here thinking, like, how many performances I've seen that don't include a band. And, like, I kind of want to ask, like, do you think we can measure the quality of an artist by okay, let me say it like this. Do you think we can measure the quality of an artist's music taste, I guess, based on their performance set and if they tend to use bands or not?
I mean, that's
Maybe not taste, but like your ear.
I think it's a difference. I'll say that much. Like you could be a dope performer, it just be you and a DJ, as long as you know what I'm saying they can hear your vocals from it. Because the whole thing about performance is we just want to feel what you're bringing to the table. We want to be able to hear you. We want to be able to get that feeling from you. So I think live bands it's something that's a bit more intimate. It's something that's a bit more personable. That's something where you are going to get a whole different experience than you would in just somebody throwing on a track and them just rapping over it. You know what I mean? Just depends on their personality, but you read into it a bit more. So I think that's probably the main difference between like having a live band for a show and then just going about it with just two turntables or a show mix and, you know what I'm saying, a microphone. I mean, as long as you give your all into it with either or. But I think it's definitely a more intimate thing when it's a band behind it. You get the feeling a bit more. It draws you in.
I like the question.
That was a dope question.
I couldn't figure out how to get it out, but
I was ready to answer it. I'm like, man, look, I mean, you got the Locks. I don't think the Locks would be good with a band, but it would be dope to see them with a band.
I don't know though. I think the Locks could actually pull it off with a band.
To see like somebody like them, like you used to them,
right?
You just rocking them
with a DJ,
just with a DJ with no vocals,
right?
Because New York,
that's New York.
That's I'm outside. It's Jones. It's Jada. They using vocals.
The hat take off just had me. I'm like,
hat,
fam, you did not have this perfect hairline decades back, fam. You were bald. He had the. I don't know what happened, but it's like as soon as he turned off that, it was like the perfect rectangle just sat on his forehead. I'm like, why?
Like, think about that. Like every rapper from the 90s had a bald head. Like, if you ain't have a bald head, you wasn't that nigga.
This is true. I can't say him on air, but he cut his hair off too at one point.
Listen. But yeah, man. You got like.
He did.
He did.
I called it. He did. We can't say that name.
We can't say his name.
We'll call him Voldemort, but he's Chicago's beloved son, king of R&B. Can't say his name on the radio like that.
R. Kelly.
He just went there, ladies and gentlemen. Illinois radio.
I tried not to open up the can of worms.
That nigga cut his hair. That nigga hair. R.
He
Kelly
was bald.
did everything.
He was bald. That's what I'm saying. Like
he had bald head. He had the first nigga with weave in his hair.
He was.
The first nigga
spray
with
paint
weave. The spray paint
Let's
weave.
not forget the
hair
spray
braided video. It was gold. He took your mom. You know how your mama used to have a gold can? Thought you had a spray. I thought you had some what they call it in the graffiti paint.
I ain't never seen nobody with a gold Beijing lining in my life. That was amazing.
That lining was perfect.
That lets you know the hood can do anything when you put your mind to it.
Hey, we
real
set
talk.
the trends.
We do. That's true.
Yeah, R. Kelly did it all from waves, braids to the little girls
and girl grades. All right, let me stop. Shout outs to Robert Sylvester.
Shout out to all the women out there. You know what I mean? Hey, look. Anyway, back to this interview. The albums get on iTunes, man. I didn't even think all your music was gonna be on there like that.
Oh man!
And then I forget.
Yeah,
you had so many projects.
We did a rollout, man. Just
on there, man. You got about 4 or 5 projects on there.
Yeah, I got 4 total. 2 EPs with now, 3 EPs now. 2 full-length albums. Today is actually the 6-year anniversary of my second full-length album I dropped called Short Summers, Long Ones.
We're going to get there. Because first we got to go to it's spring, right?
We do. Yeah.
We got to go to it's spring. Because that's where my end, because I remember that joint.
Yeah, the seasonal prequel. Yeah, that was the EP right before that album.
Okay.
It was, and what that was just joints that couldn't make the album. I have literally recorded so many joints, and I wanted to fit it all to like tell the story, but attention spans.
So like coming up, I come from the mixtape era, and it really wasn't like we didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
We was just doing something.
Just rapping over whatever
just
we
rapping
thought was
over,
hot.
just rapping on whatever, putting a project out, uploading it to live mixtapes, and that piff.
Yeah.
And
that piff era.
So when I started hanging around, when I started coming around y'all and seeing how y'all actually had y'all had only this many tracks on the album.
Yeah.
Only this many features. Y'all had it already organized. I want to know, like, was that something y'all like?
That's
like
something
practice or just?
I think that was something we came and developed with over time. You know what I mean? It's just like you said, when we first started recording, it was just song, put it on something, pow, drop it. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of having something out. But then we started actually taking it serious to the point where it's like, what are we presenting at this point? Because what we record, what we write down, what we put together, what we format in song, it's a representation of us as artists. So how do we want to come across, you know what I'm saying, when somebody would have looked, you know what I'm saying, a D2G up or whatever artist you listen to, you know what I'm saying? And me, I've kind of been a storyteller for most of my time. I can give you punchline. I can smack you up, whatever mic I choose to do, but I'm a storyteller at the end of the day. So my whole thing was I wanted you to always visualize what it was that I was saying.
Right.
You know what I mean? So each album is a representation of that. My first album, by the way, when I first came up with my name, that's how long I've had the title of my first album for that long. For it to finally come out and drop and make sense in 2013. I done had July 9th for Cancer Story as an album idea since 2000, bro.
That was like your third album or something like that?
That was my first. My very first one. Like, I was going to see that through.
I was about to say, manifestation is real.
Like, the title of it, the meaning behind it, you know what I'm saying? Because July 9th, that's my birthday. You know what I mean? So July 9th, A Cancer Story, I'm telling you the story of what it is to be a cancer. You know what I mean? They always call us the emotional sign out of everybody. So I kind of want to present that through song. Like, you get the emotion, you get the feel, you get to really, like, let it hit you when you listen to it. So,
do you like making concept albums and projects?
I love it.
Because
I absolutely love it.
Because at a point where concepts was like dying off.
Yeah.
You and who else? You Abstract. Abstract.
Shout out Abstract. That's Thick as Thieves. That's my boy.
Y'all stay with concepts.
Oh yeah.
I remember
D-Son, another one, you know what I'm saying? He kind of actually, I gotta give credit to D-Son on one thing. He kind of gave me the process as to how I would go about the concept albums. You know what I mean? One thing I always kind of stress about him, because he would take his time with his projects. I'd be like, bro, why are you taking so long to like put this together? And he told me something that really sat with me and approached to how I make music from here on. Now he said, dude, sometimes you got to sit back and just live a little bit. Like, be able to live life, experience some things. That way, when you get back to writing, it'll be easier to write something down. And that's how a lot of stories come about. Like, I just live at this point, because what else are you going to do when you here? Like, everybody gets tired of the whole routine of get up 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not all what life is. Like, there's everything outside of that you got to tackle into. There's good parts. There's bad parts. There's confusing parts. There's wow, this is crazy parts. You know what I mean? So you got to incorporate all of that.
Man, that's taking me to this album I want to talk about now with Tony Bangs.
Oh man, yeah.
But we gonna
hold off.
we gonna talk
talk
about that, because the concepts on that joint is fire.
Yes.
Look, man, y'all don't go nowhere. We got D2G in the building. You're now tuned in to iLLANOiZE Radio.
Here's another ill track. Make sure to check out the ill list playlist, in which we provide you with the latest tracks we play live on our show. Head over to Spotify and search iLLANOiZE Radio to follow our playlist as well as follow our podcast. Now let's get back to the show.
Right, and as you know, I'm sitting pretty, starting riots right here on iLLANOiZE Radio. We got D2G in the building.
Yes.
Before the break, we was chopping it up about your career. You know, you've been around for quite some time now. I've
seen them come. I've seen them go.
So, considering you're somebody that's put out a decent amount of albums and EPs and stuff, like, what's your favorite part of your creative process?
I think the most favorite part that I can probably say is getting in the booth and getting takes done, whether it's a one take or I gotta do a couple of them just to make sure that it's right. Just the process itself is my favorite, just from start to finish. Sitting down, getting a chance to vibe with the beat or without a beat and whatever just comes to my head. Like, once I'm past my first line, it's always my first line. I have to write that part down. It don't have to rhyme with anything yet, but once I get my first line down, it's literally like my hand just goes. Like, it doesn't stop. I have to force myself. Like, all right, wait.
So do you still put pen to paper? Because I know a lot of people, you know, they've gravitated towards just using their notes on their phone. But as a writer, I love that pen to paper feeling.
It's that old school feeling of, because you can't worry about, you know what I'm saying, like, if you type it in your phone, there's a chance that it could crash, you know what I'm saying, you could lose a file. Nah, it's an intimate thing where your hand is touching the paper, the ink is flowing from your pen, and whatever your words are, it's forming right there. You can read that right back in your point of view.
Damn, I like the way you just broke that down.
I look, I'm not even a writer, and I felt that.
I'm like,
shit.
damn, okay, right.
I never heard nobody say that they like the doing a double takes and taking twos and that process. Like,
well, yeah, you gotta have that. You gotta discover something about yourself when it comes to your presentation. You know, it's easy for me to say a line or two, but if it don't sound like I'm in it or it just comes off as choppy, then it's a waste of line.
Did y'all hear that? Sound like he meant it. Mean we believe it.
Oh yeah,
it's very important.
Believability. If you don't have that in the music, why are you doing it?
Do you listen to your first projects and be like, oh, where was that believability? Because, you know, because I think, not like that, not in a bad way, but you know, like in earlier works, like even for me as a consumer, I can go back and listen to some of my favorite artists' earlier works, and it's like, you just was rough then. You know, it wasn't bad, but you just was rough. You get better as you go on.
Yeah, once you get past that, you know what I'm saying, that fine-tuning stage is definitely a difference, but I go back and listen to a lot of my old work, and one thing I noticed, while some of my techniques and how I delivered wasn't all clean, it wasn't all there, the feeling was this purest and this rawest form, and you can't get that from anywhere else. Like, when you first do it, because you're going past the hunger stage when you're in there. You're pretty much going for giving it your all. You're going for blood or whatever you do. When you start growing a bit, it starts to become a bit more polished, you know what I mean? You can finesse it to where you can have that feeling, but you can say it's smoother, you know? And I think that's what happens when you grow on and it's further advanced with what you do. But that beginning stage, when everything was just grimy, just like that first fresh feel, that's
do you
time.
Ever still wish you had that grit when you're creating sometimes? Or do you try to tap into it?
Oh yeah, you definitely have a means to tap into it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to have it the full way that you want to supposed to unless you just go on like a plunge and this is all that you do. Like, no Netflix, no chill, no TV, nothing. Like, you in a dungeon type of basement and you in that mode, right. Which I wouldn't recommend that. That's scary.
No, that sound,
because that means you really too disconnected. Like, you don't want to do that. But I tend to tap into it. Actually, this last project, like, I felt like I was in my bag when I made my first album. Like, I started to get that fresh feel back. I guess because I had been away from it for a little bit, and everything was going on in the world. I had a lot to talk about, a lot that I had to pin down and fit into, like, 16s and 24s and 32 bars, and just some with hooks, some without hooks. But I was just in that bag. Like, I had something that I needed to say. And when you get in that zone, it's priceless.
Yeah, I know what that bag like.
Man, so like, what's one of your favorite projects you like to go back and listen to?
Short Summers is definitely like top 2.
I mean, since today is the anniversary for Short Summers.
This is the 6-year anniversary that I released that. Short Summers, Long Winters.
What was it like making that album?
That album, I had just came back from National Guard a year prior. And I was missing home a lot. You know, Ended up getting a honorable discharge because I got an injury while I was training and whatnot. So they instead of just letting me sit back and try to do it all over again, I told them I had my fam back. So they sent me back home, and I literally been hitting the ground running since then. So when I got back, it was I got my time with my fam. I seen my people. Now it's okay. Now we got to lock in. It's studio time. I had just come off my first project about a year prior to that, July 9th for Cancer Story. I had started to gain some experience in the studio. My growing process as far as writing started to really branch out. So a lot of content, a lot of topics that I was able to touch on and experience new things. And everybody was starting to see what I was going to do next. So when that project was completed and finished, and not to mention I got LaRoyce Hawkins on the intro. I mean, that's Atwater Chicago PD. You can't really go wrong with that.
Right. So, well, speaking of that, how many artists did you have on this project?
For this project,
Short Summers.
I'd want to say about 7 or 8, but that's just off of first guess because between my homie JDP, my boy Abstract Mind, LaRoyce Hawkins, who else? What do they call it? AP Remedy was on there. Soul J was singing on the hook. I had Sherry Soul.
Shout out to Soul J.
Soul J was on the project, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. I had Isaiah Jones on there, Ashley Shell, my Reflective Music fam, you know what I mean? AM Abstract Mind, of course, that's the homie. Yeah, about 8 or 9 people on that project, and it went.
Man, so as far as producers, what about the producers on there?
Man, a lot of them, a good portion of them is cats that I came up with, you know what I'm saying? A couple of them is just people that I've been fans of, and we've been cool in passing, you know what I'm saying? And I finally got a chance to sit down with, like, I've worked with Mixed by DC, shout out to DC, Reg Young, Ray White, you know what I'm saying? I worked with Slot A, I worked with this cat Walking Shoe that gave me one of my personal joints on Short Summers, and that's Reflection. That's pretty cool. I've worked with Law Beats, that's my boy, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to HP. I've worked with Brother Gift. We got a project that we're going to be dropping soon called That One Friday. So hopefully we can just get back in the booth and lock in. And then recently, well, not recently, but like the past 4 years, I got to work with a legend. And he goes by the name of Tony Baines.
Tony Baines got joints on Short Summers?
Oh, he seen me from Short Summers.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I mean, like, knowing cats in passing that I got a chance to, you know what I'm saying, like, show them my work, and they've been kind of peeping for a while. And that's how actually me and Baines connected, because I had a show opening for Mobb Deep. They had the Hell on Earth 20th anniversary for that album release. They was at the Promontory. I was the last opening act for their tour. So I'm the last one to go up before Prodigy and Abby came up on stage. Tony Baines was hosting that night. He saw me do my thing, called me backstage. He was like, hey, listen, nephew, we going to work on a project together. Man. And no sooner than he says that, a little bit after that, he gives me a call. And we start talking about what we going to do. And then he says, I need you to get in your storytelling bag. Because at first he wasn't going to have me do that. He was trying to keep me away from that, get the bars heavy and just like punch your lights out. But then he was like, you know what? I want you to tell the story and see where we can go with it. And we going to do it from the first song to the very last one. And so we just, it was hot outside one day. We was like, why don't we talk about what happens on the first hot day in Chicago? And that's how the first Hot Day EP came about. So that was June 24th of 2017.
Damn.
Now fast forward, he gives me a call like October, maybe last year, maybe a little bit before then. He says, nephew, it's about that time again. He had the concept, he had the beats ready. We just, you know what I'm saying, met up, we linked. We got to go through the beats in order, listening to how he wanted it. And he told me the concepts of where I should go with it. And we incorporated literally everything that was going on during this pandemic time. So,
dude,
from the protests to the mask being a mandate, to the vaccines, to COVID being a thing, to the shootings that was happening around, literally everything that could have possibly happened in Chicago, I incorporated and made it into a day. So, June 26th of this year, the next Hot Day EP came about, and here we are.
Dude, I listened to that project, and I want to say good job. because I felt like it was so many characters. I never heard that many characters in a project. Like, it's like an audio movie. Like, that flows.
That was exactly what I wanted you to feel, you know what I mean? Because I wrote it in mind as if like I'm writing a treatment for a music video, you know, because this whole thing is literally start to finish. And even with how I presented it, like, if you notice, there's no like names for the songs. They're scenes. So from the first hot day, it was scenes 1 through 6. And then for this one, I kicked it off and it's scenes 7 through 13.
Yeah, so that's why I got to go back. I got to go back and listen to the first one. I only listened to the second one.
No, that's cool though, but that gives you a reason to go back and listen to the first.
I got like, hold on, these characters, they sound like it's the story already been brewing. Because when they was downtown at the protest, see, look, this is all the song.
Yeah,
this is the song. Homie saw homie, and then they was a shoot. It was real. This is like a real Chicago like reality show that was going on. You feel me?
I wanted you to
like, what mindset were you in when you wrote this?
Well, I was currently going through the things that I wrote about. You know what I mean? And you could tell that when it's like some parts is fiction, but then you could tell when the events that I'm describing in detail are just that real.
But even in the lyrics, because even when I'm hearing it, you can't tell that it's fiction. You can tell.
That's what I.
You can tell where, like, it could have happened.
Yeah.
But let's just say, this is Chicago.
Yeah.
Wild shit happened.
This is exactly the presentation that I wanted because that was my mind state. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I wasn't personally going through it, somebody was personally going through this. I'm telling somebody's story. So did y'all work? It's not all mine.
So did y'all work on this song? Like y'all record it together and everything too?
Oh yeah, Baines was definitely setting in on some sessions. Like he definitely gave me advice on what to throw in there, what to kind of take back from it. And I mean as far as like ad-libs to add on, you know what I mean? Like the writing, of course.
What was it like actually just being and getting this coaching? This is like a Dre. Like,
yeah.
So like to be in the room, to be in a gym with a Dre is like.
Let me repeat the name one more time.
Go ahead.
People that I'm in the studio with Tony Baines.
Yeah.
If you ever research Chicago hip hop and its history, you would understand why.
Just give them a few names of people who he haven't worked with.
Who he's worked with.
Who have worked with.
Who hasn't worked with him? YP's worked with him. I'm sure King Louis worked with him. Fatal's definitely worked with him on some Inglewood. You know what I'm saying? Like the leaders of this thing, Vic Spencer, Vic Mensa. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who's anybody. They've worked with my boy Sinatra's. He's worked with Tony Baines. You know what I'm saying? Like I could go on and on, but the name like he's that for Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So
for them that don't know, so what's something that you learned from him?
I learned about just falling into, you know what I'm saying, the scene of things. And when I say that, I mean like as I was writing, like just not always going into like rapidy rap mode. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you could just cool out, like. Because it took me a minute to realize that he actually raps himself. And that kind of threw me off a little bit, too. And how his style is, he's not the metaphor type of guy. Like, he talks to you through the rhyme. And from what he's talking, because he already a personality in himself. Like, you've been around Baines, then you know.
Right.
But just his personality just reads off his bars so hard. It's like, dog, you just talking to me over a beat and it's fly. Like. He kind of taught me how to get into that bag without having to, you know what I'm saying, distance myself from what I come from. You know what I'm saying? So I take heed to big homie in his words for real. Cause I can a coach.
You explaining that, I can hear that in each song because you gave it a time for the next line. You gave it, like you flowed it, like you wrote the beat different than you normally would do.
Oh, yeah. He definitely, because I think with scene 10, I had a whole different way I was going to attack it. And then he just gave me like a rhythm with the bounce. I'm like, okay, this is not a challenge, but it's kind of a challenge because it's giving me something that I wouldn't have thought of firsthand. And I usually can see every way to go about it, but he definitely like guided me in that direction with that song, and it came out to be one of the knockers on there. I'm like, oh, man. All right, bro.
Look, since we speaking on it, let's give it to him, man. Let's give him one of the songs from this joint.
Man.
What song we got in here from you, man? We got Up Jumps the Boogie.
Oh, wait. Now, see, this is where I got to give an introduction.
No. I want you to give you the intro. I want you to tell us where, the mindset of writing this song and how this song came about and introduce it.
All right, so this Up Jumps the Boogie. This is produced by my homie Reg Young, fellow Cancer. Shout out to my dog. He actually did some work on Short Summers, Long Winters. Matter of fact, if you ever hear 90s Flow and I Got It, he did those joints. So, I mean, me and him, we going to get back to working on our project we was working on too. But this right here, he was just like, dog, I want you to just come in, just go. Don't even think about nothing. Just go how you would attack the beat and just make something happen. What Jadakiss tell my man is like, just make something happen. And so I'm writing, the beat was just going crazy, and I'm like, you know what? Let me give an old school twist on the hook. And y'all are here too, because I pay homage on some, I pay homage to Timbaland and Magoo on this. So this is really like, I'm taking it back. So this joint right here, this is entitled Up Jumps the Boogie. It's brought to you by myself, produced by my boy Reg Young, if you looking for the credit on the beat. So let's go ahead and get into it, man. iLLANOiZE Radio, we in here.
The iLLANOiZE app is available now on Apple and Google Play Store. Download the app, get the latest news, stream our podcasts, watch interviews, and listen to iLLANOiZE Radio live. Download the app right now.
Welcome to the dopest thing that hit the street since crack cocaine. iLLANOiZE Radio, and I am Illinois Jones, along with my sister Pretty Ride and my favorite African, B-Go. And we still got D2G in the building.
Wagwan brethren.
Wagwan brethren. Yeah.
So, man, I'm still in that vacation vibe,
yes,
man.
Sir. Yes, sir. So we just got done bumping some, what was that, Panamera? No, that was Jujilla.
Shout out to Jujilla, too, man. Hey, I'm saying right here while we on iLLANOiZE Radio, man, I'm on your heels, bro. This ain't the same 2G since that Sharice Culture show, my brother. Just know that.
Oh, man.
He know what I'm talking about, though. That's my man's, though. He good. Like,
for
my
sure.
fans go stupid.
Yeah, he's hard. He's hard. Chicago has so much good talent, like you said earlier, man.
Yeah.
I put money on the city any time of the day.
Look, the city is smoking everybody. It don't matter your coast. It don't matter your side. You can be from East Coast, West Coast, down south. Chicago is smoking everybody.
Smoking.
Not even a question. Smoking.
So like with the music here in the city, and you've been doing it for a minute, and like you said earlier, you seen them come and you seen them go.
I have.
What's something that keep you going and not, falling to the wayside?
I'm gonna tell you, man, I still come from an era where when I first really got into it, like the YPs, the LEPs, the King Louis, the Pac-Mans, you know what I'm saying, the Bump J's, my homie Broadway 75th, you know what I'm saying, Billy D. Williams, a.k.a. Billy the Kid, like, Eastside D's, like, these are cats that I came up with, you know what I'm saying, like, in the trenches on some East Side, and that's when cats was really, like, spitting for real, so my inspiration is like I came up with them and I got to carry that torch, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm an MC at the same time. Like I spit for real. So if anybody going to hold down my side, if ain't nobody else going to do it, I know I'm going to do my part in that. Like I can't speak for the next man. I can speak for my cats and the dudes that I know. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can speak for the Vic Spencers. I can speak for the Knowledges and the Kids in the Hall. I could speak for the Juice Maisleys of the world. I could speak for a lot of cats from over east that's really doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could speak for the Castros. If he stop playing and get back on his mic, I'm going to call him out on it now. I could speak for the King Louis. You know what I'm saying? I could speak for cats that I've seen that was doing it. You know what I'm saying? That really made you want to be like, oh, man, I'm dope. I don't sound like you, but I'm dope in my own right at the same time. That's what keeps me going. Because from that's how you make the music that you make. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I always wanted that. Like, even if you don't look at me like, oh, man, he ain't want it. You'll see me, Like, anybody that you know that's hot at the moment or has had a rain or, you know what I'm saying, is hot right now, you've come across me at some point.
Man, so, like, what's something we need to be expecting from 2G?
Oh man, expect the nothing less than the best. Like I'm coming for crowns now. Like this whole thing, it was cool when everybody was friendly, everybody doing their thing. No, I'm coming to be the best. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been nice about it, but at the same
like
time,
Killmonger.
I'm back in go mode. Like, so you gonna get music from me, you gonna get freestyles from me, you gonna see some stages get tore down. Like, literally just sold out the Promontory twice in a day and had my still coming in on something off of the album. You know what I'm saying? Just that vibe. Like, I got a whole new energy. I got a whole new bag. Like, I'm in a different zone right now. Like, you're going to be expecting a lot more from me. You're going to be expecting a lot more from the fan, whether it be Reflective Music, my squad, Petty Gang, Chicago, or just anybody that's my people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we doing it for the city at the end of the day.
Any more record collaborations with Tony Bangs in the future?
It's quite a
Are we
few
gonna get a 3?
You might get a 3. I ain't gonna spoil it too early. You may or may not get a 3. You might get another movie. You never know where it could go with me and Bangs. You feel me? Like,
for sure. I'm with it, man. I gotta get it.
Yes.
So let the people know, man, how can they get in tune and in touch with 2G, man?
Man, in the words
D2G.
In the words of my brother Danny Talented, Mr. Talented Danny Bars, you can find me here on planet Earth. But if you want to do the social media thing, y'all can follow me at 2G Make a Move. That's the number 2, the letter G, all one word, Make a Move, on your Instagrams, on your Twitters, Facebook, D2G Music, the website, D2Gmusic.com, Bandcamp, D2Gmusic.bandcamp.com. Like, I'm out here. Just search D2G the Great, or however you wish to follow D2G. I'm right there.
What if they want to do business?
Man, holla at me on the email, man. D2Gbookings@gmail.com. Otherwise, again, I'm here on planet Earth. See me when you see me. I'm outside.
For sure. Any videos, anything we need to be looking out for?
Oh, man, let's see. We got a couple visuals on the way in the tuck. We got another show for the next Hot Day EP. We back at Promontory October the 19th, so be on the lookout for that.
For sure.
We got some things coming, man. Matter of fact, September 2nd, I'm actually featured on an album that's about to be released in Paris. It's called Pangea, and it's from a record label,
the building management company,
Amazia Records. You feel me? So we got a joint on there called The Usual Suspects. Shout out to my boys D Skiles and Ali the Villain. You know what I mean? We came in there, first joint on the album, holding it down for Chicago, coming from France, tearing it down, bro. Like,
word.
It's that. Like, I'm not playing with cats.
Man, sis, you wanna get us up out of here? We finna get up out of here. You got anything to say before we go?
My birthday coming up.
Let's go.
I'll just play.
We about to turn up. Hey, pull out the Hennessy.
Look, I got pure Henny
No.
White on. What's
No.
up?
No
I
Hennessy.
got you.
No Hennessy. Casamigos me this year, please.
Oh, you gonna be worse than you was last year.
Well, that's fine. That Hennessy had me fucked up. The next day, I couldn't even live. Yeah, the next day. But yeah, my birthday coming up. Dropping details for my party. Well, I ain't gonna call it a party. My little shindig. Probably Sunday or Monday.
Slide.
Follow me on Instagram at Pretty Riot. Follow my Twitter at _Pretty Riot. Visit my website at prettyriot.co. September about to pick up because it's Virgo season. Y'all finna get hella content. So
Hey.
yeah, I told y'all some poetry dropping. You know. So just, I'm going to say it before John say it. You can see the riot, you can hear the riot, and you can feel the riot at prettyriot.co. Thanks.
She about to start a ride.
Don't switch it on.
Look, man. I feel good. I feel great, man. Y'all can follow me on at Illinois Jones 88 on Instagram and Twitter. I don't like y'all that much to give y'all my Snapchat or my Facebook. But if y'all want to see my pretty face, you can always go to illanoize.co or download the iLLANOiZE app.
Yes, download that app.
If you got the app, whether you got an Android or iPhone or Barack Obama phone, you can get that app. Also, man, what's poppin', man? Shit, you know how we living out here in these Illinois streets. I love y'all, Chicago. It feel good outside. Is it still hot out there? Because it was hot as hell when I walked in here. But Chicago, I need y'all to do me a few favors. Party hard, but party safe. And if you can't do both, stay your ass in the house.